King Arthur is a name whispered through time, a legendary king of the Britons. He is said to have wielded a magical sword, Excalibur. Arthur and his Knights of the Round Table defended Britain from invaders. His story is full of chivalry, magic, and bravery. But was he real? Did a King Arthur actually exist? The answer is shrouded in mystery. To understand Arthur, we must travel back to the 5th and 6th centuries AD. Roman rule in Britain had ended. Saxon invaders were attacking from the east. This was a time of chaos and war, a time ripe for heroes. Could Arthur have been one of these warrior leaders? Some historians believe so. They point to the possibility of a real warrior chieftain whose deeds became exaggerated over time. It's important to remember how stories were told back then. Without widespread writing, tales were passed down orally. Each retelling embellished the story, adding fantastical elements. This makes it difficult to separate fact from fiction. There are early mentions of Arthur in Welsh poems and literature. These sources are fragmentary but suggest a warrior leader named Arthur existed. The Annales Cambriae, a chronicle of Welsh history, mentions Arthur at the Battle of Bardon Hill. This battle, fought around 500 AD, is a possible historical event. However, the most famous account of Arthur comes from Geoffrey of Monmouth. His 12th century book, The History of the Kings of Britain, tells of Arthur's life, reign, and tragic downfall. Geoffrey's work is full of fantastical elements and is considered more legend than history. It established the familiar story of Arthur, Merlin, Camelot, and the Knights of the Round Table. Whether Arthur was a real person or a product of legend is still debated today. The lack of concrete evidence keeps the mystery alive. What we do know is that the story of King Arthur continues to fascinate us. He represents courage, honor, and the fight for what is right. In a world often lacking in heroes, King Arthur's legend continues to inspire. The search for the historical Arthur may never end, but perhaps that's part of what makes his story so enduring.